Yo, what's good YouTube, man? It's Gary with Dylan Fan TV, man. Back at you. If you like the content of this video, go smash that like button, like the content of this channel. Go over here, subscribe, man. Look, so it's been a couple days off the videos, man. Honestly, I got sick, got a little under the weather, man. My daughter got sick, so taking care of her. Guess who got sick? Me, right? So you know, it is what it is. But I am feeling a lot better today. Haven't been able to talk about any Ravens this week, so I'm excited to do this game preview, give you guys my thoughts and opinions on the game. Injury report, all the things I really couldn't do this week. We're gonna talk about it in this video, all right? So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it, all right? So I am gonna talk about the Ravens injury report just because I haven't, like I said, I haven't get a chance to really do anything this week as far as the videos go. So we're gonna talk about a couple guys that have been ruled out and somebody that's questionable. Okay, so for the Ravens, Marlon Humphrey out, Ronnie Stanley out, Trenton Simpson out, wide receiver Devin Duvernay is questionable. Now, the reason I put him on there is because he did not practice today, and I think he was limited the day before. So to me, it seems like Devin Duvernay is trending in the wrong direction in terms of playing tomorrow versus the Bengals, right? So I don't think he's going to play. All right. Now for the Bengals, wide receiver T. Higgins out, Sam Hubbard, defensive end, out. All right. Defensive end Trey Henderson is active. The reason I put him on there is because I believe he got injured, excuse me, on the last play of the game versus the Texans, like a hyperextended knee, something like that. It was very, very serious questions about whether or not he was going to play in this game tomorrow. He seems to have figured it out, and he's going to give it a go and play in this game. So we'll see how effective Trey Henderson really is in this game. But he definitely won't be out there 100%. All right. So, but thought it was important to add him in there. Okay. Bengals last three games 31-17 W versus the 49ers. 24-18 win versus the Bills. 30-27 loss versus the Texans. All right. So two good teams. Well, really, all three of these teams have been good teams throughout the year. The Bills are kind of on a little bit of a slide. This Texans loss. I mean, before the season, you would say that's disappointing for the Bengals, but honestly, the way C.J. Stroud is playing, that offense is playing, the Texans have been lights out. You know what I mean, for the last several weeks, especially like I said on offense, right? So really can't say too much about that. Now, this game is very, very important for the Ravens and the Bengals. I mean, obviously every game is important, but these two teams are kind of fighting for different goals, but very important goals at the same time, right? So the Ravens come to this game 7-3, the Bengals at 5-4. The Bengals are kind of fighting for their season. The Ravens are fighting to have really a good grip on the AFC North, right? The Bengals win this game, or Bengals lose this game rather. They go to 5-5, and then they're fighting for the rest of the season just to try to make the playoffs. The Ravens win this game, go to 8-3. They have a tighter grip on the AFC North. The Steelers and the Browns play each other this week, so one of them is going to have one more loss on their record. So if the Ravens can win this game, it gives them a real grip on the AFC North. And if the Bengals lose this one, it's going to make their road to get to the playoffs that much harder, right? So kind of a must-win game on both sides. Both teams are really going to be fighting for it, right? All right. Let's get into the Bengals defense, okay? Bengals defense, 384 yards game allowed, 30th. 43.12% third down conversion rate, 25th. 247 yards a game allowed passing, 25th. 62% completion percentage, 13th. 2.6 sacks per game for 19th. Their rushing defense, 136 yards a game allowed for 30th. So this Bengals defense that has kind of been, I mean, their offense gets a lot of the shine, a lot of the credit, but this Bengals defense has been really solid for the last couple of years, especially. They made all those free agent acquisitions a couple of years ago and things like that. But this year, it's falling off a cliff for them, all right? And, they did lose some valuable players last year. Your Jesse Bates. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Eli Apple. He's okay. But he was a part of the secondary that was playing decently and well enough, okay? So they did lose those kind of guys, and it seems like it's affected the entire team overall, right? They haven't been that same kind of defense, right? Bengals offense averaging 20.2 points per game, which is 20th. I will say this. Over the last 3 weeks of this season so far, the Bengals offense, their numbers are up, right? So these last 3 weeks of the season, they are averaging 27 points a game. And they are getting some other numbers too, but like they're averaging kind of more what you would expect the Bengals to be at, right? And this kind of coincides with Joe Burrow feeling healthier from his calf injury. All right, 301 yards a game for 24th. They're around like 380 in the last couple of weeks. 37% conversion rate on third down, which is 20th. 58% touchdown rate in the red zone for 10th. Passing offense, 226.9 for 16th. They're up to about 300 yards a game the last 3 weeks. 38 attempts, well, really 39 attempts a game for second. 2.4 sacks allowed for 18th. And the rushing offense is non-existent. They don't run the ball. They don't even try to run the ball, okay? 74.8 yards a game, which is 32nd. 20.7 attempts per game, so 21 attempts a game for 31st, right? It's not a part of what they do. That part hasn't changed over the last 3 games. They're still not running the ball. They're not even trying to run the ball. It's a very, very distinct difference between the Cleveland Browns, all right? The Cleveland Browns were a heavy ground and pound kind of team. And now you're going to the Bengals, who are a completely pass-heavy kind of team, all right? So this would be a very, very unique challenge for the Ravens defense coming off of back-to-back weeks where the two offenses that you're playing are just so completely different, right? We're going to get into the keys to the game and then the X factors, and I'll try to give a little prediction at the end of what I think is going to happen in the game, all right? So keys to the game for the Ravens offense. Sustained offense throughout the 4 quarters of the game. All right. Now I feel like the Ravens haven't put together a full 4 quarters of offense just because certain things happen, blowouts, things like that, and also just inconsistent play. All right. This game, the Ravens are going to need to be consistent for all 4 quarters. I want to see them go through a game of offense where you don't feel like there's a lull period in the game, right? Where there's a period of the game where they feel like it's not clicking, everything is slowing down, right? That's what I want to see from the Ravens offense. Hopefully they can deliver that because that's going to be a big part of this game. A lot of reasons that teams kind of get back to the game on the Ravens is because they will go through periods where everything kind of slows down for them, right? If they can eliminate that kind of period from the game and really just have a smooth and controlled game throughout the 4 quarters, they'll be okay. All right. Second one, more Keaton Mitchell, right? Now, John Harbaugh talked about Keaton Mitchell this week. Reporters asked him about it as they should. Why didn't Keaton Mitchell play in the second half more versus the Browns? He had a big touchdown run, this and that, right? Pretty much John Harbaugh said that he didn't play more because, there was kind of like a package of plays with Keaton Mitchell, and in the second half of the game, those package of plays just didn't come up, right? Now, do you want to say that's a good reason? No, I would agree with you, right? That's not really a good reason. That sounds more like an excuse than a valid reason, right? But at the end of the day, he did say, I think Keaton Mitchell is going to play more, right? And that needs to happen, all right? When you have a guy who is this explosive, this talented, really should have had 2 touchdowns for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, he had the one on the draw play, outran everybody, and then even on the wheel roll up the sideline, beautiful throw by Lamar, drops right in the basket for Keaton Mitchell. He drops it, all right? So really should have scored twice versus the Browns. End up scoring once. But this kind of guy, this kind of explosive talent, you got to play him. You got to find a way to get him on the field more. So, does that mean he deserves, 20, 25 touches a game? No, I don't think his body can withstand that kind of beating right now, being a rookie, being a smaller back. But can he get 12, 15 touches? Sure. You know what I mean? Can him and Gus more split it up? Sure. Right? Does that mean Justice Hill plays less? I mean, obviously, somebody has to play less. It is what it is, right? So you got to find a way to keep Mitchell on the field more, right? Even if he's on the field and he's not getting the ball, his pure presence, the defense has to account for him. Because at this point, he's on the scouting report, right? Hey, this guy, blazing fast speed, he hits the corner, he's gone. The defense is aware of Keaton Mitchell now. So you can use that into your favor, to your advantage. All right. Now, for the defense, this is kind of the same game plan that the Ravens defense has used versus the Bengals, especially in the Mike McDonald era of the last couple of years, which is keep everything underneath and in front of you, right? You don't want to let this Bengals team get over the top, get behind you, Jamar Chase in particular. You want to be able to keep everything nice in front of you, compact, and come up and make the plays, right? This Ravens defense has done a good job this year of not allowing a lot of explosive passing plays, and that's going to be a major factor in this game, right? Which leads right into the second one, all capital letters, tackle. You have to tackle better, right? This Ravens versus Browns game that just happened was a very, very poor tackling performance for the Ravens defense, right? And I haven't had to mention the Ravens tackling pretty much all season, right? They've been good enough tackling. They've been one of the better tackling Ravens teams over the last couple of years. Because it used to be a major problem, right? Guys were not wrapping up, too many broken tackles. This year, that hasn't been an issue at all. But it came back to life versus the Browns. Whether it was Jerome Ford, whether it was Deshaun Watson, whether it was David Njoku. too many broken tackles down the field, right? Way too many. The Ravens make a couple more plays, just wrapping up guys as they catch the football, they probably win the game, right? So tackling is of utmost importance in this game, right? When it comes to guys like Jamar Chase is known to, make the first guy miss, right? I talked about the Bengals don't run the ball, right? So the kind of substitute for running the ball is these kind of bubbles and RPOs to Jamar Chase, try to get him out in open field so he can make somebody miss, right? Or he can break a tackle. The Ravens have to be stout and ready to tackle all people, right? So Joe Burrow, I don't want to see him escaping sacks too much. Joe Mixon, we talked about Jamar Chase, so tackle. That's probably the biggest emphasis, right, for me on the Ravens defense tomorrow. Tackle. All right, X factors. Now, to me, the X factor kind of goes both ways in this game, but that's explosive plays in the passing game, right? Can the Ravens create those explosives, and can they stop the explosives on the other side from the Bengals, right? Now, Lamar Jackson talked this week about, he was asked this week about, the Mr. Zay Flowers, the Mr. Rashad Bateman over the last couple of weeks. And he pretty much said that, we're hitting these plays in practice. These plays 40, 50 yards down the field, we're hitting them in practice, right? And I believe that, right? Because, honestly, deep balls are more of a timing thing. You got to get a rhythm with your wide receivers, things like that. Bateman has been hurt for portions of this year, but he's been good the last several weeks. Zay Flowers has been healthy the entire season. So I believe that the rhythm in practice is building, and eventually it will transfer to the games, right? But I want to see it transfer now, right? Because, like I said, this Bengals defense has taken a fall off, especially in their passing defense, right? The Ravens should be able to take advantage of that. If there's any games that hit some explosive plays deeper down the field, it would be this game, right? Now, that doesn't mean force the ball and things like that, but if the shots and the opportunities are there, you got to take them, right? You got to complete those kind of passes. So then on the other side, I talked about Jamar Chase underneath, but you don't want him to get behind you either, right? So, limit the explosive plays down the field to guys like Jamar Chase. Even on these last couple of weeks, Trenton Irwin, one of the Bengals receivers that's kind of been stepping up in place of T. Higgins being out, he's getting down the field. So don't let this Bengals team get behind you on defense, and can the Ravens on the other side of it create those explosives for the offense, right? Because the plays have been there, they just haven't consistently hit on them, right? So can they hit on those plays that have been there that when the opportunity arises, right? That's the big thing. Can you take advantage when your chance comes, right? All right. So that's the game preview, right? I guess my prediction for the game, it's tough because I think this game could really be really close, a really good game. But the Ravens have been scoring 30 points, I think, like the last 3-4 games. So I think they get over 30 again in this game. So I'm going to go, because I don't think it's going to be a blowout, right? I know every time I say that, then, the game gets out of hand, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I'll go 34-27 Ravens. They win by a touchdown. And, man, they get control of the AFC North, right? So that's my thoughts on the game. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and predictions in the comments, man. And, man, thank you guys for bearing with me. But it's Gary Roots on the Fan TV. I'm out.